All right, continuing our discussion on the top 10 reasons why it's reasonable, rational, and should happen right now for Californians to discuss in independent California. Representative Darrell Issa, a California Republican, challenged Tim Wu, a Columbia University professor who coined the term net neutrality. Tim Wu was speaking on behalf of the FCC, or the Federal Communications Commission, having the ability to regulate the internet under what's known as net neutrality. Here's some of the problems. The FCC, in their proposed regulation for the internet, had actually suggested the idea of fast lanes, so that certain companies, if they're approved and willing to pay more, would get faster internet service and others wouldn't. Tim Wu, who coined the term net neutrality, was arguing on behalf of the FCC, who had made the suggestion to be able to take over regulation of the internet. Darrell Issa stood up for California and said the FCC should not be regulating the internet. The FCC regulates television, and it already determines if somebody has offensive speech and can go on the air. Why do we think that the FCC, if regulating the internet, would be any different and wouldn't be choosing who gets to be online or who gets to be online faster? Darrell Issa laid into Tim Wu. He was one of the few people to do so, and he fought for Californians to still be able to have free access to the internet and for the federal government to not take over freedom of the internet for Californians. That happened in 2014. We also want to point out that TechCrunch in 2014, the magazine, said that the FCC has a questionable commitment to net neutrality. That further begs the question, should the FCC be regulating the internet and providing even more censorship? Do we want the federal government to have that kind of power over California?